What is up, Generals? We are back with Ultimate General Civil War. And as I was, notice by the way that I'm using Pandakraut's UI customizations mod, version 1.5. And as the series progresses, I will likely update that to whatever the most recent UI modification is. Again, it's important to note that Pandakraut's UI modification does not change the game files in terms of the performance of, say, a Springfield 1855 or the performance of, the amount of money you get or anything like that. The game is still the same. It just presents the information in a slightly more palatable manner. I was perusing Reddit, as I frequently do, and I came across a post by a user named Adjective Noun on the Ultimate General subreddit, and he or she mentioned that there was a dearth of content for the Confederacy on the Major General difficulty that was recent. Now, there are content producers working on this campaign, and I wanted to throw my hat in the ring as one of them. Now, this does not mean I'm going to slow down on the Union series. That's still going to continue. It's roughly once a week play schedule, and then this will be in addition to that. So let's take a look at customizing our general. It's important to note that the things that are important don't change and do change. So all of the things that I care about in the Union campaign, and if you've watched this series, you've seen what I care about in the Union campaign. They're all still relevant in the Confederate campaign, but there's the added difficulty of your manpower pool and your weapons. Like, I run into the issue where I have enough men, but I don't have enough guns to equip them in the same, which is not a problem I have in the Union campaign. So I'm going to click through here, and I forget what all the questions they ask you here. But generally speaking, we're still going to try and get ourselves to Recon 4 relatively early on, and then we're not worried terribly about... let me take a look here. Medicine's actually not bad for the Confederacy. Medicine's almost more important for the Confederacy than it is for the Union. Again, reference earlier discussion about manpower and also the discussion about guns. So every person who comes back as a facet of the medicine casualty trickleback, they presumably keep the rifle that they would have lost, and you would need to replace at like 1 to 3 or what. You recover some of your weapons, but I don't think it's anything close to it's not even 10%. So medicine is as important for the Confederacy, or more so, than it is the Union. Training I'm less worried about, especially early on. So let's go back and take a look what I chose. Logistics and training are both important, but not as important at this phase. So let's go with recon. And I was a cavalry officer for much the same reason that now I can just not worry about cavalry for recon for the rest of the campaign. It's just it's no longer a factor. Now here's where I think the big differential is probably going to be, and this is actually not terribly, it's actually kind of okay on a historical note too. Politics and business. So again, I don't care about training right now. It just doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned. But the Army org would be interesting. It's just also not mega relevant. So you're really looking at business and politics. And in the Union campaign, I'm pretty sure we chose business because I was concerned about economy, making sure that my small army had the best weapons it possibly could. There's a thought process to that. But I'm thinking that we go with politics for the Confederate playthrough. And if you think about, the differential in terms of economic development and industrialization and railroads and the arms factories and everything else, it makes sense that a Union player would want to pick business and a Confederate player would want to pick politics. So we're going to go ahead and pick politics, and that's predominantly for the politics points. It gets me I want to say 15% or 10%, whatever, bonus. And it'll tell me here in a second. So we're going to pick Confederate, and we're going to pick Major General, but we're not going to pick legendary mode. So we're going to go, so we get a 7.5% bonus to our income, and we're also going to get a 7.5% bonus to our manpower, which is excellent. Now, I am going to be working on getting economy up. Really, all of these are important. And ironically, training is the least important at the moment. So I never need to touch reconnaissance from here on out. I need to keep up army org basically at the rate of the campaign. So before Shiloh, I need to be able to field, blah, 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 like that kind of thing. You're concerned about leveling army org up with the campaign, but you're not as worried about it as you are on the Union campaign. However, the top three here are vital, and I think that probably medicine is the most important because I'm going to be relying on capturing a lot of my weapons rather than buying them. However, being able to sell them back, so sell the weapons I no longer want back later on in the campaign, is going to be important. So much like you've noticed with Southern Compass's playthroughs or my playthrough, I'm probably going to stockpile every gun I capture, and then when economy maxes out, I'll sell it, and we'll take a look, and hopefully the finances will bear out, and my ability to arm my troops will bear out. I have an expectation that I'm going to be using smoothbore weapons longer as a Confederate than I did as a blueback. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Now the first mission, I actually played this mission at Major General on the when I did that Panda Mod expose or whatever, where I wanted to talk about kind of how that mission went. And I'm really, really not a fan of this tutorial. I think it is undeniably harder than the English, than the Union one. I'm also just not a fan of the manner in which some of the troops that were involved in capturing the fort teleport away a few hours later. Like, where did they go? Why aren't they in the fort? They should be there with me defending the fort. So there's every chance that I flub this. Really, you shouldn't be terribly worried about anything in this battle. Like, just get through the battle. Whatever you've got on the other end of it, just get through the battle. If you have any troops that survive, great, good for you. I'm happy for you. But if you don't, that's fine too. You need to get across the river, and then I like to take this position here and then use Crocker to bait. So what's going to happen right now is there's a couple of Union dude bros up in Mya, and then there's reinforcements coming from over here-ish. And so what's going to happen is my objective is to get Siegfried and Kemper into a position about here where the cover's the best they possibly can have, and try and bait the Union with Crocker, run them back here, and bait the Union to an engagement. The dream is right there, but frankly, I'll take any engagement on this terrain as it's favorable from a terrain perspective. And then I need to use Hexamer and the other Hexamer, Kemper, and Siegfried's skirmishers to keep a wall over here and keep the Union. They've got 2 units of skirmishers over here, or no, actually 3. Keep them busy. And so we just keep here, and then I'm going to get 2 or 3 more units of skirmishers and other stuff. So you need to get across the river and do so safely. I think that's like the biggest, at least as far as the opening's concerned, the most important phase. And you can already kind of hear the Union yelling about something. They're like, yeah, we're pissed off about stuff. So they're coming at me. I'm trying to get my skirms screening basically along this wall here. Again, favorable terrain, 100% cover, blah, 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 all that stuff. As far as I'm concerned, the most important thing is getting across this river with a majority of your force intact, and then engaging in, whatever firefight you have to with the skirmishers. Noteworthy, Hexamer here starts off with Springfield 1855s, which I know in my Union campaign we're looking at as kind of like crap guns. But in 1861, a 55 is like top tier shit. Okay, so there's the 2nd and 3rd Ohio. There's me. And that's the case. We're going to need to run and get these guys online quick. This is going to be tight. All right. I mean, this is just my experience of the Confederate campaign of it's going to be tight. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to run Hexamer over and just have him start throwing pot shots All right, sorry, Crocker. I was not paying attention. See, this is what happens. This is why cavalry. Jesus Christ. This is cavalry. If you are even a little bit not paying attention and not microing that cavalry perfectly, you can just say goodbye to a third of your unit in a second. It's wild. All right, come on, get the fuck up there. All right, so the dream is to get Hexamer shooting at 2nd Ohio, so 2nd Ohio slows down. Looks like we're going to get in position in time for the 3rd Ohio, but the idea, the dream, is to slow 2nd Ohio down a little bit, and then get Siegfried and Kemper in position where they can engage. And the reason I'm doing this is I don't want these 2 units reinforcing those units that are already in the fort. I don't know who was in there. I can't see. I think there's another brigade or 2 in there, but I don't want them reinforcing. So, all right, no, charge. Just get in there. You fucking outnumber them. It's fine. And support. All right, so Siegfried's in position. No, shut up. Don't worry about the stupid skirmishers. Siegfried's in position. Now, if they want to fight me, although they need to walk into that house, cover 200%, let's back up a bit. If they want to fight me, they can do so, but they need to do so in the open. All right. No, we're not. If they're not, whatever. They want to charge, that's fine. All right, that's good. There we go. That's what we're looking for. And we need to engage 2nd Ohio. We start shooting at them, the AI will turn and fight. That's all I need. They're in the water. Yeah. Damn it. Take the bait. All right, here's our reinforcements coming along. That's 3 more brigades of dudes with the same shit. They've got crap 42s and a supply wagon. All right, cool. So supply wagon goes to join. Let's keep them in column. That's fine. So early on in the campaign, you need to be a little more, like you've noticed in my Union playthrough by now, I'm just kind of like, hey, whatever. Look at there when they get there. And early on in the campaign, you need to be a little more, we'll say, scrupulous about that kind of thing. So they're going to make contact here. I don't think I've done enough damage in the water to really significantly slow them down. I need to find a way to get 2nd Ohio pissed off to come back here and play in the water. So we'll figure that out. I think that's going to be involving Hexamer shooting them in the back or play in the open field. I love Siegfried right here shooting at them right about there-ish would be the dream. We'll get there. And then we've got Crocker joining Kemper. The idea being that I want to stack 2 units engaged in melee together. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Follow it up. 2 units hitting at the same time. Let's just overwhelm 2nd Ohio and really make them regret existing. It's amazing. 2nd Ohio is just kind of yeah, whatever. It's all good, dude. Do what you got to do. Shoot my butt. It's cool. All right. They're all getting cleared off the road. That's fine. No. Jesus Christ. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking to do. Is just wear down at least one of the units to make the eventual fight for the fort stand fast. Confederate version of Fiasco's a coward. All right. Other dudes get in there. All right. So they're just not gonna take the bait, I guess. And I can't stray out too much. That's the issue I'm running into. As I can take a position here, and that would actually be kind of okay and cut off reinforcements. You've got, again, plenty of time to wear down the defenders and engage in open field battles. That's great. Why are they just not taking the bait? Jesus Christ. I can only kind of follow them so much, too. So I do eventually need to give up the chase. There it is. All right. Now we fall back. We fight in the hood. Well, I mean, even there in the open, it's fine. As you can see, early game musketry is not the bee's knees. You know, but even this is not ideal. I don't want to fight here. I would prefer to fight back in the woods, but this is the fight I've got. This is still better than what I had a second ago. And we're going to get Hexamer to support, and this needs to stop. You're done. You've done your bit, and I'm worried about Crocker's ability to, like, yes, they're broken, but Crocker's in good he's fine. Crocker's doing fine. But there's only 160 in the unit, and that's a smaller number than I feel comfortable. Get where I'm telling you to go. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, there's a small number of soldiers, and so even though the rate of exchange is very much in my favor, I'm still taking a casualty here and a casualty there and so forth and so on. I need... To really make cavalry effective, you need like 2, if not 3 units working together to just raffle stomp one of these units. And admittedly, fighting in the woods is not good for me either. So, we may want to break contact. Yeah. All right, that's getting a little better. This is fine. We can keep this up pretty much all day. At least we're not using farmers. So the intention then is to sort of get Hexamer here. And the dream is that if they route this way, a routing away from me. And then we can get, we should probably just keep going at this point. So I had this like visualization for the battle plan, and it's just completely fallen to shit. So Kemper needs to just kind of chill for a minute. Actually, Kemper needs to chill out right there. Yeah. If Kemper chills out there, he can block reinforcements on their most likely means of approach. Stand fast. Don't fucking do the dumb thing, skirmishers. So much micro with skirmishers. I hate it. And then all the reinforcements here will be able to sort of isolate and destroy 2nd Infantry, and then hopefully we'll be able to do the same with 3rd Ohio once they collect themselves. So you need to get out of the woods too. Oh, man. Why do you not go where I click? All right, good enough. Yeah, so 3rd Ohio's collected themselves. Crocker's really taken a beating. And we need to keep that in mind when we plan our operations. And I know this isn't slow-mo. I'm sorry about that. Hexamer, for fuck's sake, dude. Like, you're the one that's going to make this work, so get in position, bro. All right. I really don't like fighting in this cornfield, but whatever. I've got him in the open, so it's mostly working out. Hold fast. Don't go anywhere. Also, don't run. House or woods? House. Little house on the river. That'll do it. So they're going to take a minute to collect themselves. That's all right. We're going to give these guys a chance to get in line of battle. They're in the open now. That's good enough. Boop. Now we've got them. I have you now. Okay. So yeah, Kemper's just kind of holding the back door open. Kemper did great. Oh, wow. And he's even got like the crappy trait. How's about Siegfried? Also the crappy trait. Wonderful. So RN Jesus was not kind to me today. Let's go ahead and put the Cav in the house as well. Yep, that's fine. That's all fine. All right. And here we go. Fresh troops. They're rested. They're in a good mood. They're ready to do all the stuff. And we've got all the forces that I'm aware of on the map right now. We have eyes on. and that's important. Now, I think there's another unit of skirmishers over here somewhere, but I'm not worried about them. Okay. There. That's our force all together. All right. I suppose I can put this at full speed now. So now probably my plan of getting 2nd Ohio to retreat this way is probably not going to work. But that's fine. We'll degrade the unit enough that it's okay. And if I can continue my my outflank this way, I might be able to box them in anyway, so it won't make much of a difference. All right. Actually, yeah, let's be in the woods anyway, because I don't want to fight them here. I don't want them standing here and trading pot shots with me, which is what they're going to do on the angle of approach. So I want them to have to fight in the river if they're going to fight at all. All right, excellent. You chill out and rest up. You've earned it. Watch my rear and rest. So now I'm not really worried about how to take the fort. Now I've got still 2 hours to degrade these skirmishers, which they're not going to matter because they don't continue into the next phase of the battle from what I can tell. And 2nd Ohio is significantly reduced, and so all that's left is 1st Ohio and the 2 batteries of 6-pounders, which, you know, obviously I'm not a fan of taking artillery fire, but at this distance a 6-pounder isn't going to do shit, so who cares? Here we go. All right, so they're crossing along this path. I actually can engage from the house probably, and 2nd Ohio will not be in a, or sorry, 3rd Ohio will not be in a great place to do really anything. All right, collapse you back in with Siegfried, and we'll be able to really just trounce 3rd Ohio as well. Now, none of this will do anything to save me from the horrendous nature of day 2 of this fight. Day 2 of this fight is a real bear. All right, we need to get... Yeah, we're already doing a great job. Let's get you queued up. All right, we need to prepare to take the fort, or at least move in on the fort. So I want to use the skirmishers to draw the fire of the artillery, and I want to use the infantry to start moving in on the fort. Now, this is a different way of approaching the fort than I think I did the last time. Last time I played this on, admittedly, at Brigadier General, I formed up in, I want to say 2x3. I think it was, well, I only have 5. So it was 2x2 and then 1 in the rear. And I just Napoleonic flying column charged up in the middle there. And I think this time we're going to go slightly different and just try a really, really oblique flanking maneuver with an eye towards getting cannons on the, or sorry, getting muskets on the cannons ASAP. That's really the number one objective. All right, you're ready to charge when the time comes, and they're going to be in the open this time. More importantly, they're the defenders are quite degraded in their efficacy. So you need to shoot that. You need to shoot that. You need to shoot that. Whatever skirmishers you trip over in the process, it's fine. I don't particularly care. Get in the fort. Get in the fort. Get in the fort. We're in great cover. They're in terrible cover. That's all good. All right, get into position. Get ready to charge when the time comes. I know. Slow-mo. I don't like it. Forts are death traps. Come on. Volley into the cannons. That's exactly what I want you to do. Perfect. Great. Perfect. Good job. All right, do it again. In the fort. Perfect. Excellent. Great job. All right, fold back into your parents. You've done your job as far as I'm concerned. Excellent work. Excellent work. No, shoot them. They're right there. Also shoot them. They're, again, right there. Yep. Awesome. That's what I wanted you to not do. So let's not do that in the future, shall we? All right. Jesus Christ. Just the little hook thing on the bottom of your fucking rifle. Figure it out and fucking pull the damn trigger. Jesus Christ. It does not take much to morale shotgun artillery battery, especially one in trench works. Well, apparently more than that. All right, charge. For Christ's sake. 3rd Ohio, mostly reduced at this point. All right. Don't... What? Why are you messing with skirmishers? Great. No, shoot that. That's what I told you to shoot. Not the thing I didn't tell you to shoot. Oh my god. This is really not hard. You just make it work. All right, this is not going well. This is going great. this mission's falling apart pretty quick. Awesome. Do they get a melee resistance? They do. Suddenly, they got that much better at hand-to-hand. Perfect. That's all I needed you to do. Was that hard? Was that so hard? All right, now shoot the skirmishers, who apparently who need reminding. All right, so Crocker will probably ride them down. That's fine. We can get these guys back in the mix. They both need to rest. That's never mind. I don't keep these dudes, so I'm not that worried about them. Which sounds kind of cold-hearted, but, you know, it is. Perfect. Great job. All right, that worked out wonderfully. I do know that the next part of this mission is to wipe out the artillery batteries, and that part's going to be a little harder. All right, good work. Good work. Collect yourselves, Canfield. Shoot the battery. Shoot the battery. Shoot the battery. There you go. Good job. All right, let's get rid of Miles. Thanks for playing, Miles. All right, close off the walls as far as I'm concerned. There you go. All right. What's left of the Federals is going to have a hard time. Yeah. All right, cool. So we have some surrenders. That's cool. Let's get Crocker on that. No. Let's get him on that. No, let's get him on the battery. At some juncture, I'd love to get the supply wagon into the base, but, you know, beggars, choosers, all that kind of thing. We're just keeping them degraded. Supporting fires from Kemper and Siegfried. Should keep Hexamer fine. I know he's got... All right, cool. We got the fort. The batteries are down. Woo. All right. That was actually, all things considered, that was actually a pretty good day one. Which, given the reamed status of my force, is any indication about how rough this battle is. I'm not a fan of it. So really, if you're playing this, just get through. Just get through it. You'll figure the rest out as you go. All right. The fort has served our purposes for some time and has prevented some supplies, blah, 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 blah. But now the Union's, okay, I get it. So you're not teleporting away. It's just been a few days. And that's a little better. All right, I didn't realize that. I figured it was like an hour later or something. Federal dudes are coming. Oh, gosh. We're going to get some support, but man, it's going to take a minute. It is advised to deploy skirmishers along that to keep them delayed. That's actually not a bad idea. I don't know if I'd put them in the open, but that's not a bad idea. Hold your ground. You must prove today that the rebellion has a strong foundation, and we will fight for every inch of southern soil. That's true. If you do lose this battle, that's pretty much all she wrote. All right. Go ahead and save. So we jump in, and the game tells us that we've had the fort for a week. So the day one, finger quotes, scenario was on the 22nd, and now it's the 29th. We jump into scenario. There's a pair of ironclads or ships of some kind or another bombarding our fort. I don't know if we had ironclads in 1861. I know they were developed and utilized in this war, but I'm pretty sure it didn't happen until a little later. Anywho, so we need to get ourselves ready for basically an impending attack. We got to take a look at the ground in here. It's pretty shit. 50% cover. Outside's 50% cover. So we're no better off than being outside. And our guys in the trenches, they're doing okay. The guys in the actual trenches are fine. But the guys outside aren't doing all that good. So these are actually okay trenches, all things considered. Yeah, cover fortification, bonus, melee resistance. So I know normally I'm all like, yeah, trenches are hot shit. And I have the impression that in this particular battle they're not the end of the world bad. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna send a screen of skirmishers out, predominantly with the intention of buying time. You're doing a thing. All right, cool. So I want you here. I don't care about shooting the boats. The boats don't matter. So, Major General, you're here. I'm going to be a little disjointed in the audio commentary. I saved and then went to dinner and and now I'm back. So I kind of forget what I was talking about. I feel like the first part of this battle didn't go all that bad. Usually I've taken much bigger losses by now. So I'm certainly content with the way things are. I need to be very careful. These skirmisher units are really tiny. They don't have the ability to take a lot of losses. But we just need to buy time. We just need to buy time because in, I don't know how long, I hope it's not freaking 2.5 hours, but in a certain window of time or another, reinforcements are going to show up, 2 or 3 brigades of infantry, and maybe Crocker, maybe, I don't really know, but whatever I can do to buy time is really kind of the idea. Yep. Quickly. Here we go. Awesome. So Crocker shows up. That's excellent. Let's see if we can't get like fancy with Crocker. How's he doing? Heavier losses than I'd like, but that's not surprising. All right, we need to be careful on the approach here. So Chetland here, he wants to tussle, and apparently he wants to do so in melee. Nope, hold your ground. If they want to fight, they can fight. Just do it with good cover. And kick them out of the good cover. Make them fight in the open. Yeah, we really want our cannons. You know, what's the cover look like for you over here? What's this cover? You're doing okay. You're not doing okay. So that's a thought. They don't have a lot of artillery. They do have, I think, 2 batteries on this battle. So if I could capture either one of those guns, that would be good. The transition from Brigadier General to Major General, especially in the Confederate campaign, is probably going to be rough. I've played the Brigadier General level of this game on the Confederates, and it's an enjoyable game. It's pretty fun. I thought that the Union campaign kind of got boring at Brigadier General after I got to a certain level of, I guess we'll say, player skill. But generally speaking, it's been considered that the Confederate campaign is one order of magnitude harder than its Union equivalent. So, I mean, we'll see. All right, I think probably I can play at full speed. All right, get back in the woods. All of this is just buying time. Get back in there. You need to utilize the fact that the AI is so much more aggressive to your advantage. You need to be able to bait them into disadvantageous attacks. You need to use the terrain to your advantage at every possible step. You need to sometimes accept losses. And you need to do cagey bullshit like this. If this works out, I'm going to be, woo. If I get Nicholas, I mean, I'm happy with that. If I get the artillery, great. But really, at this point, if I get Nicholas, like, it's gold. So the artillery's like gravy. Nicholas is the dream. Because if we can slow their morale, so this is the same thing that we do with the Union all the time. We try and remove their ability to recover morale effectively, anyway. And, yeah, fall back. All right, so we're going to get one battery of artillery. We're going to at least remove Nicholas from the equation of being able to, like, motivate his men. And we need to fall back with Siegfried skirmishers, and Bernies are doing okay. We got one battery down. This is excellent. Things are going great as far as the opener, and there's our reinforcements. Popping, they're just not here yet, which is fine. I'm okay with that. That's fine. All right, one down. Let's see if we can't get the other one too. Let's push our luck. I don't get to keep Crocker regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Ooh, you got to get out of that water, though, dude. You got to get out of that water. There's our units. Okay. So, again, normally I say don't run, but I think in this battle you desperately need to. All right, so I'm using the fortifications here because they give you melee resistance, which is one of the things. With this kind of a force, they're just going to charge. Like, they outnumber me what? They've only got 1,400 guys on me. So they've got two more of these probably regiments. I don't know. 750 is, I guess at this point in time in the war, that'd be about a regiment. So the paper strength of a regiment was 1,024 men, but almost inevitably, like in every order of battle I've ever seen, those figures don't mean shit, basically. So probably this is the 22nd Maine, for example, going into Gettysburg was like 300 and change. So I would imagine that this is probably a brigade. This is probably a brigade that we're looking at. So we've got Brooke charging Kemper. Kemper's doing okay. And Kemper's got support from Siegfried. Rebel Fiasco is providing his morale buff, right? Yes. And then Cable as well as Merritt are all providing close order artillery fire to support. So I'm feeling pretty confident about this melee. I'm very nervous about Crocker getting out of the woods because he's still in the water. So if Crocker, if Haskell gets a shot off, like that's going to be disastrous for me. And then we have the other units coming online. So you need to, like, even more than you did with the Union playthrough, you need to use the aggression against the AI. So here, there's a lot going on right now. I'm going to play it in slow-mo. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a cool, I hope you guys see that. That was a cool, there it is again. That's a nifty graphical glitch. All right, let's pull Siegfried skirmishers out. 68 men is not going to take much to break. There you go. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. All right. So that's a very interesting graphical glitch. All right, good. Get in there. Oh, geez. If Crocker can take out the artillery, that's going to be wonderful. Where is the rest of them? There should be two more. Or just one more? I think I have a total of 5. I don't know. So my concern is that they're broken, but they're still in melee. which means Kemper can't shoot. Kemper can't recover condition, which isn't really a concern right now. But Kemper can't shoot, and neither can Siegfried shoot past Kemper. Bernie, however, needs to kind of realign his sights. Cable and Merritt is fine there, I suppose. But you need to get out of the way. Siegfried. They're going to break. All right, get out of there. Brooke, be gone. Because there's just more coming, man. Oh, beautiful. Even if you just die, even if all you do is die, you prevent them from shooting, that's worth it to me. All right, they'll be here eventually, I suppose. So, yeah, you're seeing kind of now, you just need to juggle the shots back and forth. So what's going to happen is I'm going to let Cable get one volley into Terry, and then I'm going to turn Cable onto Grant, and you just need to spread the artillery around, and Merritt is doing fine too, I suppose. And let me see, you're doing good. We've got plenty of supply. All right. This is the most dangerous part of this battle. This is when things are the most dicey. If I can repel this initial assault, and I'm very worried about how small Bernie is. If I can repel this initial assault, you should be okay in the opening phase of the battle. So in this regard, it's very similar to the Union tutorial battle, where if you can brush off the initial attack, you should be okay. And I know I'm talking a lot. So one shot from you. One shot from you, Cable. One good, solid shot from you. Merritt, how are you doing? Nope, shoot there. Shoot there. God damn it. One solid, good canister shot. All you need to do. One good canister to break the morale. There it is. There it is. All right, beautiful. Good job. Cable, back to this other unit over here. Merritt, you're doing fine. Kemper's doing okay. Siegfried's in support. Yeah. All right, we're doing all right for the most part. Haskell is at least tied up, if not routing or anything. All right, I'm not at all worried about a charge of skirmishers. I'm actually going to fold them back into their parent units if I can. This 35 men is not going to stand up to anything. All right, a useless supply wagon. Like, I appreciate that you're here, but we just don't need you. And then you as well. All right, let me see. Where can you be most useful? It's probably in this cornfield. I hate to say it. Like, I'd love to put them right there, but they're just out of range from doing anything. So, yes, get in there. This is a weird graphical glitch. I've never seen that before. Siegfried's doing a good job. If I have a minute to breathe, I want to get Siegfried in the trench and I want to get Bernie to fall back. Actually, wait, no. If they're at 23 morale, yeah, I want to do that basically right now. And I need you. You're exhausted too. All right, that's fine. I get it. It's not ideal, but I get it. All right, so what's going to happen here is I'm basically going to pull Bernie off the trenches and then put Siegfried in them basically immediately because he's just this shy of breaking. Yep, there it is. All right, push them in. Fiasco's fine. Kemper's somehow fine. Cable, shoot at Shermer. Merritt, you're doing fine. Siegfried, get in with your parents. These guys are exhausted. Yep. This is one of the things about this fight, too, is it's so touch and go right now. And it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine if I can throw this off. But in the interim here, it's just a real freaking mess. As is hopefully immediately apparent. So I need to really take the heat off Kemper right the F now. Fortunately, Cable here is going to be saving the day. Oh, man, Cable is saving the day. All right, Siegfried, the officer, is wounded. This is a great opportunity to talk about that. And I know that if you're watching a Major General series, there's a pretty good chance you're aware of what happens when an officer goes down. But if an officer goes down in battle, killed, wounded, whatever, your command and efficiency, he no longer offers the buff that he would offer to that unit. So efficiency is a very, very vital, important stat. to how a unit performs, and command is the same thing. Essentially, it's how they respond to commands and how they respond to their behavior on the battlefield and all that kind of thing. Losing an officer is disastrous for all of those kind of reasons. They don't respond to orders as quickly. They don't perform as well, all that kind of stuff. All right, how are you doing? You're in there too. All right. So when I get a chance, I'm going to go ahead and fold Siegfried and Bernie together, and the division commander of that unit will do, division commandery things. And I'd love to get the 56 men of Siegfried skirmishers in with Siegfried, because 400 is a lot better than 365. But that's just going to have to wait, and I'm really worried about Kemper. He seems like he's holding his own at this point, but still makes me nervous. We're doing a little better. These guys are in position now, which is great. Much, much, much better. We're still doing okay as far as over here. Casualties have been fairly light in Crocker's unit. Haskell is tied up. He's exhausted. That makes me not happy, but removing their artillery from the equation makes this battle a lot more palatable. I say that, but they still have artillery. It's just so far away, it's not mega effective. All right. Thank Christ. Cable is really saving my bacon in this fight, let me tell you. All right, Bernie. Come on, man. Calm down. All right, so when I can collect these forces together, the objective is to probably present a solid line over here, because I'm worried about them coming over and trying to fight me in this position. That's not ideal. But if I can take them and use them as sort of a counter to pull the heat off of Siegfried's position and let me get some of Cable's fire, and then Merritt, who's, I don't know, for some reason just not pulling his weight in the same way. So maybe I'll pull him off too. They don't have any artillery. I suppose there is that. All right. Bernie, I get it, man. I totally get it. But we need you in position like yesterday. So Burnham's charging by himself. He's not likely to do much in that position. This is not ideal. I would love to pull him back and rest, but I think at this point in time we just need to ride down Haskell and call it a day. And see if we can't get the general. Regardless, the general and the supply wagon are stuck over here. So even if I don't get them, even if I don't kill the general, if I don't capture the supply wagon, which I would love to do because that money would certainly be useful early on in the campaign, it's still a win as far as I'm concerned to just keep him out of the fight, because they're not able to recover their morale and all that kind of stuff. So if they're having a bad time of it, like, they're just sort of SOL into having a bad time of it, and that's all she wrote. Everyone's feeling pretty good about things. Morale is up there. This is obviously concerning, but I feel like probably the worst of it's past. Haskell's about to break here. 35 is about when I get him. I'll take what I can get. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. I never see a second supply wagon show up. I only ever see one. All right, Grant, get out of there. Come on, man. It's pretty clear. You're about to say you're welcome. All right. Okay. Just stay there. Do your thing. Let's get these forces linked up. And let's get Siegfried coordinated with somebody. Oh boy. We need to hold for another hour. I suppose that seems doable. That's not who I... No. Oh, man. I wish I had any way to control kind of who you would sync up with, but, you know, whatever. Bernie, so small. I don't like how tiny these units are getting. Come on, merge. You're right there. Merge. I'm fine if you guys are the ones that merge. That's okay. Just do it already. All right. Are you resting? You're resting. Good. All right. Cool. So we got Preston now, who's the division commander. Sorry. So I was talking about that. So you have an officer go down. You can press this button here, and the individual component brigades of a division, if they are smaller than the current cap, I think, of how big a brigade can be, they will form together into a super division of sorts, and will fight as one. And that is a way for you to mitigate the efficiency loss associated with losing a commanding officer in the course of a fight. Okay. All right. So we need the skirmishers to be gone, and we need to get Battle Terry out of here. We need to get Terry to get the hint. Time to go, man. How are we doing? Resting up, feeling good about ourselves. You should be. They've done great. They've done simply phenomenally. I would love to let these units rest. I just don't think it's going to happen in this battle. What's the problem? Why are you having such a hard time with this? You're in good cover. Shoot. I get it. 51%. I understand. It sucks. I don't care. Pull your trigger. Everyone else is pulling their part. You got artillery support. Here's me. Here's my avatar. You're two brigades together. I understand one of the officers is down and you guys have taken big losses. This battle sucks. Suck it up. Pull your trigger. All right. Terry's mostly done for it. That's good. We rested? Good enough as far as I'm concerned. Let's see what we can get. All right. We're enough to just play it out. All right. There you go. Morale's up to that point where they've turned. I think that things are turning. I'll take either one. If I get Nicholas, wonderful. If I get the supply wagon and that's it, that's also fine. While I would certainly love to, like, wipe these units out, and on Brigadier General I did, this is just a different kind of battle. Like, on Major General, you really got to take what you can get. I don't even know where Nicholas ran off to. Well, there's that. That's that. Get that money. All right, let's go find the general. Let's wipe out. Let's start wiping some of these units too. I mean, so yeah, like once you'll notice the aggression of the AI drops off really quick, and basically it's you pull the teeth out of their attack, and they think better of it, pretty quickly. Is there the general? Probably. Yep, there he is. All right, that's fine. They think better of things fairly quickly. All right, so here they are coming for another assault. I'm debating pulling these guys into the fort too. Because this is a pretty beefy assault, and Preston's hanging on with, by a hair, basically. Bernie is too. Shit. Great. Preston's killed now because, that makes sense. So Brooks had enough. That's good to know. Let's remind him that it's time to go. All right, Terry, get the hell out of here, man. All right, well, now I can't get to Nicholas, which sucks, but it is what it is. That's fine. I can use the unit of Crocker to bully. So once again, what do we see? There's apparently now no one leading these guys. Okay, sure. Yep. All right, that wasn't what I wanted you to do, but I guess it works. Oh, God, he's just going to break here in a second. All right, we need to get Bernie out of there. This battle is always a mess. So yeah, at this point, you're just holding on for dear life. It's sort of silly to say it that way, but it's not, I think, wrong either. Just get back there, dude. Do the thing. You'll be all right. All right, Canfield takes over. Let me see if maybe I can't get lucky. Wipe out those skirmishers. It'd be nice to just get something else off the field, So I've got these guys now, Cable and Merritt, in a place where they can... I should have had them this far forward earlier, I suppose. But they can canister them while they're also musketing my infantry. So that should make some of that a little better. And then Crocker will hopefully handle battle. Oh, fuck. That was not... that was a smart idea at the time, but now I'm not so sure. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you as far as this battle's concerned. The tutorial, I had a much clearer picture of what best practice looked like in the Battle of Philippi races, and I'm less sure by a long shot what right looks like in this fight. So really my only advice to players is just survive the fight. Whatever you get out of it, you get Preston's division. So the component units of Preston's division, you get those, and I think you get one or both of these artillery batteries as well. And that's it. And that's all you get. So Canfield, Bernie, Allen, you don't get to keep. Crocker, also, you don't get to keep. Fuck. We'll just have to see how that goes, I suppose. You know what? Shit, just do that. See what happens. Actually, no. Yeah, no, that's fine. The artillery is going to be what saves your bacon, but they're just going to take so many like peripheral losses, mostly from the cannons here, that you just can't afford to ignore. That I don't know. There's not much to do about it. And this is the scenario or situation where I know normally I'm all like, yeah, avoid the forts if you can avoid it, or if you can possibly stand to not be in a fort. But in this particular instance, they're so like they're the only source of good cover, and you can't abandon the flag. Yeah, shoot my supply wagon by all means. I guess if I lose the supply wagon, that does probably suck, but it is what it is. You need to degrade. Let's go ahead and fold Bernie into Canfield at this point. You need to degrade the enemy brigades to the point that they can't successfully launch a fire mission or an assault, and then you're going to be relying on your artillery to do that, and utilizing your cover and all that kind of stuff, and you don't have numeric superiority even now after all these losses. Good God. But what you can do is if you get lucky with a couple, like I can probably see Burnham shattering before this is over. I'm not going to shatter Shermer, but maybe Burnham, maybe Grant, because he's in canister range, and I can just keep Terry busy. And you just run the clock out. Knocking their artillery out was good. If I get the opportunity, if Terry routes or some juncture, I can charge with Crocker. But the other thing that's nice is they're starting to run out of ammunition, some of their units, and that just means that I've been being pounded on the entire time, which obviously sucks. But they follow the same ammo rules that we do as players. So I don't know. I wish I had better advice for the players here, but at a certain juncture, you just kind of pucker up and hope everything goes okay. So then, yeah, you just make sure your artillery's on a swivel, hitting different targets, because they're going to be your big killers. They're both doing great. Cable and Merritt are both killing it, literally. And the 6-pounder artillery is a gun that I kind of look down upon in the Union playthrough, but it's one that, from the Confederate perspective, you can't ignore. Insofar as that, for a lot of the Confederate playthrough, simply having a gun battery at all is better than having none, and your choices offer an often 6-pounder or nothing. So, use the gun you've got rather than no gun at all, because you're holding out for the gun you want. If you play smart, you have definitely got the opportunity to capture a lot of Union guns, and when you do that, you're going to have plenty of opportunity for 24-pounders and Napoleons and all that kind of fun stuff. All the same guns that I've got in my Union playthrough, just maybe not in the same amount early on. So I'm going to pull the guns back a little bit, because they're starting to get whittled down to the point where soon probably some of these gun batteries are going to shatter, and I don't want to do that. So even though it's less effective, I want them safe for the next battle, or for the main campaign. Starting this campaign off with 2 admittedly understrength batteries is better than starting it with none. And Preston's division has been reamed, but these are the units we keep. So I'm willing to allow Rowlett's division or Allen's brigade kind of grind things out. But these guys are getting great experience, and they're in good cover. And frankly, at the level of engagement I've got right now, to move them would be dangerous. The Union, however, is starting to fall apart. They're Colonel Allen. Jesus, this is a bad time to be an officer, let me tell you. Come on, man. No? Okay. Fortunately, you've got all the resources in the world as far as suppliers concerned. And there's not a good time to charge Crocker in there, unfortunately, either. So you got 9 more minutes, and this is one of those ones where I think they give you the opportunity to keep fighting if you are so inclined. I am not. I am not so inclined. So the second they give me a chance, I'm out of this battle. None of these troops, well, some of these troops you can keep, but most of them you can't. And you don't get any particular, like, killing these guys would be nice, I suppose, but I don't necessarily feel like I'm trading super effectively right now, but you need to do this to keep going in the campaign, so here we are. I wish I got to keep Crocker. That'd be really nice. Yeah, that shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't be able to volley a unit in melee with you. Yep. That's amazing. Brooke wants to keep going. Alright, whatever. Yeah, we're good. So, casualties and stuff. People died, people fought, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Bunch of officers that are wounded, fantastic, or dead. Cool. You get enough Springfields for sure to field at least one brigade. 4,800 captured is incredibly useful here. We have enough guns to stand up a small battery of 6-pounders, so that's good. Yeah, so I think the big thing for a player coming into this battle is understand that this sucks, especially at Major General. This battle is incredibly tough. I joke, but I think this might be the hardest battle in the campaign. And a lot of it's because your army's pretty suboptimal and you don't have any control over what units you've got. So if you've got a different playstyle than this, you're pretty much SOL. And the other shitty thing is that Hexhammer doesn't show up on day 2. I really could have used him for the second part of this combat, but it is what it is. All right, anyway, let us move on. We'll go to the camp screen and take a look at what we have to work with. So some guys captured gives us some more recruits. That's also useful. Get some money, get some dudes, get a reputation and career points off to the start. And, oh, okay, never mind. We don't get to keep both batteries, just one. Well, it is what it is. All right, so starting out, you have access to James Archer. You have access to some more smoothbore weapons, or, and this is, I think, the most important, you have access to reputation, the 1841 Mississippi rifle. Let's take a look at the stats is why I think this is important. So range 300, just like everything else. We'll have this one to take a look at this. This is the weapon that you'd be comparing it against. Damage 18. So these things hit like a truck. 12.5, significant drop off in damage, but and the fire rate's the same, 3940, close enough, it makes no difference. Take a look at the accuracy low, 12.5, and the accuracy high, 110, the same, 12.5 versus 40. So the way that the accuracy curve drops off is as you go, inside of like, I don't know, 20 yards or whatever. It doesn't make a difference what weapon you're using. It's fine. So smooth bores are just as effective and close as long as a rifled gun is. But as you go farther and farther and farther, closer to the effective max range of 300 of a musket, you drop off pretty quickly in terms of the accuracy debuff. So the Mississippi is a major improvement over the Springfield. And then just as a sort of comparative note, let's take a look at how high I can go. So the Springfield 63. I mean, take a look at this. The same exact damage as the 1841, 12.5. Fire rate bumps from 40 to 57. That's pretty significant. But look at those numbers. Accuracy low, 77 versus the Mississippi's 40. Where are you? Yeah, 45. Oh, no, sorry. This is the upgraded 40. So it's huge. That's gigantic. The good rifles are really really good, and the jump from smoothbore up to these is pretty phenomenal. But the jump from smoothbore to the 41 is also pretty good, and it's going to make a big difference early on in your campaign. So before I do anything, let's take a look at where we're going. I know the answer, but let's take a look. So the Union Army is just shy of 40, which is insane. They're poorly trained and poorly equipped, just like we are. We're going to fight the Battle of Newport News. Why? It's a bunch of money and it's a bunch of gold. The skirmish, really, at Newport News. So we need 3 units, which just so happens to be exactly as many as we can bring, 3 units. And if we were to drop our forces in there right now, we'd be outnumbered 2-1, which is wild. They would double gun and everything else that we got going on. We need to repair our army first, and we also need to take a look at what we're going to put our resources into. So right now we can field 1 corps, 2 divisions, and 3 brigades. What do we need to bring to the next major step? And that's first Bull Run. So we already saw that our current Army Org skill is fine for the Battle of Newport News, or the skirmish at Newport News. However, at Bull Run, we can bring 4 units, not 3. Okay, that's a thing to think about. But I can't bring a 4th unit. I mean, you can. Open a 2nd division and then have 2 units or whatever, 2 and 2 or 1 and whatever. So Army Org is fine. I don't need to bump the Army Org up right now. That means I can put the skill point into something more immediately useful. So what's that going to be? I mean, all of these could be immediately useful, basically. If we put 1 more point into politics, what's useful about that is that major general difficulty, you suffer a minus 10% debuff to recruits and soldiers. So at this point in time, you are getting the same number of recruits and soldiers as you would at Brigadier General. Okay, that's useful. Here we're 2.5% less. That's a pretty bearable reduction from difficulty differences. 2.5% fewer recruits and dollars is something I can live with. But trickle back. Now I know 2% isn't a lot, but trickle back matters. And so does economy for good guns. What's the discount? 2.5%, 5%. So it adds up, definitely. Let's go with politics. We need to get... So manpower is an issue in the Confederate campaign, especially as you go. So we need to get the gravy train rolling as soon as possible. We need to get this moving ASAP. So we're going to put points into politics. I hate that it doesn't do anything for me except give me more dudes, but you need to. You need to right now. So we're going to do that. We're going to buy officers to replace what we've got. And we're going to need to buy them all. It looks like just buy them all. So what we're going to do, let's take a look at the stats or the unit card. Okay, so they got the 2 shitty ones. That sucks. I'm not gonna fuck with trying to preserve the whatever. I'm just gonna boop and boop. Cable is fine. He's cool. We like Cable. But do we need more artillery at Newport News? I think the answer to that question is also no. Newport News, I think you want more muskets. Yeah. Oh, there's no division commander. We can stick a colonel in there and call it a day. Suddenly his command goes up. All right, that's fine. That's good enough. Oh, let's take a look at me as well. All right. Oh, this is also a nifty thing that we get from Panda Mod. So usually these are sort of auto-generated for you kind of at random, which means your major general could be useful or utter shit. What's nice is Panda Mod lets you pick. So I want to level my guys up, or I want to move faster, or do I want more ammo? Movement speed. And then infantry. Where are you? Yep. So the tier 2 buff, so this one applies to the entire army. This one only applies to the unit type. So the vast majority of my army is going to be infantry. As a result, I want that benefit to apply to as many things as possible. Let's see, attacker, defender. So, and then we'll probably do defender for the thing. So Rebel Fiasco's whole like modus operandi is going to be going as fast as possible to secure advantageous defensive terrain, and then we'll hold it essentially with infantry. So melee plus 5% or plus 5, melee firearms plus 5, and then a faster reload, which is pretty great. So unfortunately, we're going to do that, which sounds crazy, but just hear me out. The reason I'm doing this is because the perks that those units all started with are garbage. So you, yeah, we've already got Lieutenant Colonel Kemper. So Lieutenant Colonel Kemper will form a brigade of infantry with 1,000 men, and we'll do it again. 1841s. We'll buy. Let's see the difference. $891 versus $1,250. It's fine. Isaac Gordon will turn into a lieutenant colonel here before too long. Harold Evans. Screw it. Yeah, sure. Boom. We have armory. What can I buy? What do I want to buy? Can't buy enough Enfields to matter just yet. I do like the Enfield. None of these. We're not bringing skirmishers just yet. We have enough for an artillery battle, which we're going to be using in Bull Run, but we're not there yet. Another infantry unit. Smoothbores, Jim Maxwell. 1,200. Why is it 1,200? Oh, the recruit cost probably for the officer. I have the money. I think we do this. 17,000 is a lot of money, but it gives us a huge qualitative edge early on. Yeah, I think we do that. All right. You guys know my naming convention at this point. It gets a little silly, but we remember the units, that kind of thing. So no one ticks over, unfortunately, to having a star yet, but we'll fix that in the battle. And you know how I know that? Let's take a look at this. I bet if I bought a better officer, well, no, it didn't happen here. 99. I would need to buy like a full colonel or something. It's just not worth it. So that's the army we're going to take into Newport News. It's pretty boring so far, but all we'll do when it comes time for Bull Run is we'll just start up another division and dump an artillery unit in there, and then we'll have an infantry division and an artillery division with just one unit in it. What we're also going to do is we're going to bump supply to there. And that's because infantry is basically free to resupply, so we'll be okay. All right, so I know this is going way too long. Oh, you can't put a captain in an infantry unit. Right, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that's the opener for a Confederate campaign. Like I said, this is not going to interfere with the Union campaign. The Union campaign will still be once a week. The Confederate campaign will be ideally also once a week, and then we'll kind of play it from there. But without further ado, I know this has gone on way the hell damn too long. You know what? I should just cue this up for queue this up for the future because good God, do I hate that battle. And this was actually a decent tutorial. So I'll have that one just saved, and then we'll also save the stream. All right. This is Fiasco. Thanks for watching. I am excited to jump into the Confederate campaign too, and also to wrap up the Union campaign. I know that this does mean that I'm not going to play the Panda Kraut rebalance mod in my stream just yet. But with a dearth of major general content for the CSA, I thought let's play the base game, and then we'll see if there's room or time for a rebalance mod game at some juncture. Thanks again for watching. This is Fiasco. Hope you're having a great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving or holidays, depending on when you watch this, and I will see you next time. Fiasco signing out.